Welcome to another episode, everyone. In 2013, a bloody riot took place in 5800 in the dorm in the Los Angeles County Jail. The riot was vicious and uncouth. A young homie from Front Street Watch Crip had come into the dorm. He was very small, slight in stature, light-skinned, skinny, about 25 years old, with short hair, extremely skinny, an extremely small individual, diminutive. Nevertheless, he minded his own business there in the dorm. You only seen him talking to one person and one person only on a daily basis. He would work out with the same individual. He would eat with the same individual. He would be chilling in his bunk area with this same individual day in and day out. Also in the dorm was an OG homie from Swan's blood. He had been to the penitentiary many times and had a penitentiary mindset. He too used to work out, was very big, very strong, and no nonsense. He was teaching a lot of youngsters inside of the dorm what prison was really about. A lot of the people in the Los Angeles County Jail had never been to prison. Some of them, most of them, were on their way to prison. They're in the Los Angeles County Jail fighting their case. But a lot of them were young, 19, 20, 21 years old, and had yet to go to prison. And so the OG homie from Swan was in there lacing everyone up with war stories and knowledge about how to carry oneself if you're on your way to that dreaded level 4 yard. This is the atmosphere in the dorm. Riots have been kicking off constantly in the Los Angeles County Jail for decades between the blacks and the SouthSiders. Everyone is constantly on edge. The air is always filled with tension, racial tension. Anything, no matter how minute or trivial, can kick off and ignite a riot immediately. Everyone, every race, every police officer, deputy inside the Los Angeles County Jail knows this to be a truth. So everyone is careful, respectful, and walking around on eggshells, if you will. I always slept with one eye open. Front Street's in the dorm, minding his own business as he has a proclivity to do. One day, a Southsider confronts Front Street and told him that he had walked in front of him and cut him off. Front Street was leaving the bathroom area. Apparently, the Southsider was also walking out of the bathroom door and felt like Front Street had cut in front of him, like cut him off, like he almost ran into Front Street. And basically, he put his hands on Front Street, like stopped him, like, hey, bro, watch out, watch what you doing, watch your step, man. And Front Street's like, man, my bad, you know what I'm saying, my bad, I didn't see you right there, I was walking out like you was walking out, I didn't see you, my bad though, just like that. But again, he's very quiet and very respectful. Swan, on the other hand, is not so quiet. He saw what had transpired between the Southsider and Front Street, and he immediately took umbrage. He then approached the Southsider and told him, don't talk to my people like that, bro. He's quiet, he doesn't bother anybody. I saw everything that happened. You just trying to start something. He did not deliberately try to cut you off. You're walking out of the bathroom at the same time as he is. He has just as much right to walk out of that door as you do. What do you think, he's supposed to wait until you walk out before he walks out? Who do you think we are, man? Who do you think you are? He doesn't have to defer to you. He did not disrespect you in any way, but you got at him aggressively, certainly disrespecting him. Southsider responds and says, Well, he didn't say nothing about it, Holmes. He didn't take it like that. And I was just telling him to watch out. You know what I'm saying? To watch his step. But now Swan, the Southsider, is clearly still aggressive. He was first aggressive with Front Street, and now he's being aggressive with Swan. But Swan, again, he's no nonsense. He's not going to tolerate this coming from anyone. I've seen him check blacks and beat a few blacks' ass right there in the dorm. He doesn't play, bottom line. And he too, if I'm being honest, may have had a little racism in him. Swan had a small tolerance, a short temper when it came to dealing with other races. I did notice that about him. Nevertheless, in this situation, his gripe seems to be a legitimate one. Swan kept his wits and his cool and his wherewithal and simply said that I would go talk to the hierarchy. I'll go talk to your shot caller and let him know that you're being totally disrespectful towards my people, and now you're semi pretty much disrespecting me. I can take the things that you're saying to me, I can take umbrage to them. But I'm an OG, I'm a grown man, I'm not going to trip, bro, but I can take umbrage to that because you're being very aggressive, and I didn't come at you like that. I was just letting you know that you're disrespecting my people, who wasn't bothering anyone. The Southsider essentially told Swan he can go tell whoever he wants to tell anything. He's not worried about it. Swan went over there and he talked to the shot caller. Swan, he had plenty of influence there in the dorm. He was not the shot caller, but that's neither here nor there. He was allowed to go and speak to the shot caller and explain the situation, since he was the one that was involved in it and had seen the interactions between Front Street and the Southsider, and then he could detail his interaction that he had with the Southsider. Everyone stood back as Swan went over there and talked to the leader. And they were going back and forth, conversing for a minute, and everything seemed to be going okay. We can see that the conversation is taking a turn for the worse. The Southsiders begin to close in some and walk towards the commotion. Well, so do the blacks. We're walking and we're looking at the Southsiders. The Southsiders are looking at us. We're wondering, well, what's up? What's about to happen here? Because the tension, keep in mind, is real. Bloody riots have been transpiring in the Los Angeles County Jail, in every dorm, in Wayside, in every dorm for years. Anything, no matter how minute, can ignite it, because the tension, the racial tension, is already there. And so though it just looks like an innocent conversation that's becoming more animated, it's not going to take much for this thing to blow up. Eventually Swan walks away and comes over there to where the blacks are. And he just began to explain the conversation that had just transpired with the leader of the Southsiders there in the dorm. He explained that the Southsider told him he sympathized with him. He understood that he would talk to his people and get his people's side of the story. That's understandable. You don't always just want to take someone else's word for something, particularly another race, just automatically get on your people. Maybe your people were not wrong. So he said, I'm going to talk to him. But Swan said, okay, once you talk to him and he confirms, and your other people, because Swan told him, well, he witnessed it. There was a couple of Southsiders that witnessed what happened. So holler at them as well. And once it's confirmed, we just want an apology. That's it. For the way that he came at me and came at my people. We're not even asking for him to be removed. Most of the time, anytime a black does anything, the Southsiders want him out of the dorm. They want him out of the module. They want him off the yard. And blacks oftentimes are too quick to oblige. In this situation, in this case, they're just saying, we're not asking for a bloody removal, just for a man-to-man apology. But the Southsider, the shot caller, well, he really wasn't hearing any of it. He said that he could not tell a grown man to apologize. Now, in prison, this response would not have transpired. But here in the Los Angeles County Jail, the politics are different. It'd take me a while if I tried to break it all down for you. Well, that answer was not going to suffice. And this is when the animation during the conversation had elevated. Swan says, they're not talking about apologizing. He disrespected me. He disrespected Front Street. They're not respecting us up in here, bro. So he looking at me, what's up? Like, shit, it's up then. It's up. You know what I'm saying? It's up. We go up tonight. You feel me? Because I already know the Southsiders, they're not thinking anything about it's about to be a riot, even though there is tension, even though riots have been happening. Trust me, they're not thinking that the blacks are going to attack them, particularly over something like this. Maybe had they stabbed a black, stumped out a black, maybe only then would these damn blacks try to respond. But something like this, because they talking about they felt disrespected, whatever, they just going to accept that. That's not true, though. That's not the case. We want our respect, and we'll get it by any means necessary. Those days are over. Later on that night, we were all back in the dorm shooting dice. But the dice game was really a decoy, a disguise, a ruse, a ploy, if you will. The plan was for all of the blacks, essentially, most of them for sure, to attend the dice game, pretend to be involved, and just surround the area. This way, we're all together. And when Swan jumps up, he's going to be down there shooting dice. This is the signal. When Swan jumps up, everybody rush to Southsiders. That's it. When he jumps up, we're all strategically placed in between bunks and this and that, where we can have a straight shot at him. And let's just rush him. It's nighttime. It's dark in the dorm. They turn the lights out. They're going to turn the lights on as soon as they go up. But right now the lights are out. And I don't believe, and we don't believe, that they're going to see this coming. They do not believe that the blacks can organize quickly, get on one accord, get in agreement, and make a move. They just don't think of us in this fashion. This oftentimes gives us an advantage when we are willing to take advantage of it. I always am in these sort of situations. I just, again, believe in going on the offensive. And so Swan got up and no words were spoken. The blacks rushed the Southsiders. Some of the Southsiders were sitting on their bunks. They jumped off their bunks. And it was on. We were swinging for all that we knew. The Southsiders, to their credit, they were swinging back and they were fighting. Indeed, some blacks had weapons. Swan was a penitentiary type person. He too did not believe necessarily in fighting not another race. He believed that they were always going to have weapons and that we had to approach them with weapons. Again, he's teaching inside of this dorm. I'd already been to a level 4 yard. I'd already been to prison, but I'm still listening to Swan. He was older than me and more knowledgeable than myself. I'm never too big to learn. And he impressed upon the entire community the importance of arming ourselves before the attack. We were all in agreement, and so, simply put, we armed ourselves for the most part. and blacks did approach and attack with weapons. The SouthSiders, not surprisingly, had weapons as well. Some of them were probably expecting some sort of attack, but for the most part, most of them probably were not, just not giving us enough credit. And the weapons were being swung, and they quickly turned on the lights in the dorm and started yelling from the office, "Get down, stop, this and that." It's not going to happen. It's up. It's going up everywhere. You look around the dorm and everybody's swinging on one another with knives and without knives. The riot lasted 3 or 4 minutes, which is a very long time when you're fighting and 2 or 3 people on you, and then it's 2 or 3 of you on one of them, and it's just going all around the dorm. Bunks flying everywhere, sheets and pillows flying everywhere, food flying everywhere, people yelling, people trying to take cover, and it was vicious. And it was all over someone feeling disrespected or someone disrespecting someone else. We believe that the SouthSider was taking advantage of the fact that Front Street was quiet, small, non-confrontational, and had a tendency to mind his own business. Not big, strong, and aggressive and loud like some might be. And that automatically tells you maybe to leave that person alone. Someone who's quiet, if you're not careful and you don't understand the streets, you don't understand the psychology of mankind, you would mistake this quietness for cowardice. And for cowardice. And he's not a coward. In fact, he's a very strong individual. An empty barrel makes a lot of noise. So because you're loud doesn't prove anything. And I just believe that they made a mistake. Stay safe and stay free, people.